Yo, so this is a chapter right here. One Piece chapter 691. When I tell you Luffy has defied my expectations, he's defied my expectations, okay? Because I wasn't expecting Luffy to kind of tuck tail and run. That wasn't what I was expecting him to do. After 600, almost 700 chapters of One Piece, I know Luffy's not the type to run from a fight unless he knows that the life of his crew depends on it. Like what you saw during the Sayabodi arc where he realized that they were outmatched against Kizaru and he said, okay, we gotta get the hell out of here. So I knew something was going on. But when I saw Luffy kind of running back, the first thing that went to my head was, what kind of attack is he going to use? And Oda, sure enough, came through because when Usopp is, talking to Caesar Clown's men, and he's telling him, like, look, you guys, you realize you've been betrayed. You're still serving this guy. I don't fully understand it. How dare you slander my captain to my face? Have you lost your mind? Luffy's not the type of person to run away. He believes in the collective strength of our group. And I'm paraphrasing what Usopp said because Usopp had a really good speech. And it's very touching that Oda gave Usopp that speech. And the reason why that is because if you go back to Water 7, Luffy and Usopp mixed it up. So we're at volume 70. I think the Water 7 Usopp and Luffy fight was probably around the 30s, somewhere around there. So almost twice as much, like 2 times the amount of volumes has passed, right? And Usopp's still on 180. Now he's singing Luffy's praises. He's no longer challenging Luffy. That shows growth. That shows growth. I feel like that's something that can be missed very easily because of how slow paced One Piece is, and because you get these chapters where they kind of focus on key straw hats here and there or whatnot, and it can be very easy to overlook, especially when it's not as action packed. But that shows growth in Usopp's part, man. Like I really like that. I really like that. And Luffy's backing it up in real time as Usopp is giving this tremendous speech, right? Like Usopp's got the silver tongue, the politician's tongue. You can tell this is going to win over Caesar Clown's men. And as this is going on, you get this really, really cool scene where Luffy is stretching himself and he's getting ready to propel, and you see the black outline on his body, and that lets you know that Luffy is about to use some type of hockey induced attack. And it makes a lot of sense. It makes a whole lot of sense because when you look at what Caesar has done, Caesar has essentially absorbed all of the land of the dead smoke, right? Like he's all that gas. He's essentially absorbed it. And Caesar is at the point now where it's do or die. And Usopp just, finishes things off perfectly. Usopp says, well, you got to understand, Caesar is the type of person that my captain hates the most. You can bet your bottom dollar, and I'm using a cliche for this, but he's like, you can bet your bottom dollar that Luffy's going to finish him off. And you can tell, right? Like, Oda's going for that classic one-shot finish. You can tell, like, Luffy's about to hit Caesar with a hit that he didn't even see coming. And if it falls into something like what I would see, like, with Arlong Park, then Luffy's going to tear this whole damn building up. Like, then again, I don't know, because that gas will spread out. So that's gonna be interesting because, typically, Luffy, when Luffy gets pissed, he destroys everything. So I mean, I'm very interested to see where that one's gonna go. I'm not even gonna lie to you on that. I am very interested to see how Oda's gonna finish that one off. But what's also really telling is that Oda also spoke on human nature in this chapter, and what he did was he showed Caesar, right? Caesar Clown is talking and he says, like, yeah, this broadcast has done wonders. This broadcast has allowed me the opportunity to showcase the land of the dead for all these buyers, and 2 peaceful nations have decided to purchase. And he says that when it comes to protecting yourself and your interests, even peaceful countries will get in on the action. And that's so true because even in times of peace, there's still war. Like a great example of this would be how the United States and Russia have the START Treaty, right? Like after the Cold War, both of them agreed to dismantle a certain number of nuclear warheads each year. The two biggest nuclear powers in the world decided to dismantle nuclear warheads. And the whole point of it was that after a while, they would get to a point where they wouldn't be a nuclear threat to the entire world. The fear back then, back in the 80s, and this is before my time, obviously, but, I love history. And like the fear back then was that if the United States and Russia went to war, it would destroy the whole world because of how many nuclear weapons that they have and because of the fallout from all the radiation. And so I say all that to say, while all that's going on, even though it's a time of peace, you still had other countries who didn't have nuclear capability who said, yeah, I see what these nuclear weapons are capable of. If things get out of control, I want to be able to protect my country. And so you had other countries trying to develop nuclear weapons. And so that's how you end up with the political climate that you do, where now the bigger countries are trying to police the smaller countries. And it just kind of comes down to who gets the right to determine who has these deadly weapons, who has access to it. And I feel like Oda has kind of touched on that in Punk Hazard. I really feel like that. I really feel like Oda has touched on the war economy in Punk Hazard, and that's very impressive just to see the level that he's gone through for this. Now, the other thing that I thought was pretty interesting is just the typical gag that you get with Zoro, right? Like, Zoro's running with Tashigi, and the G5 men are like, wait, I thought you were supposed to be protecting our rear. And Tashigi, right? Tashigi is like, just let me down. This is so mortifying. I knew we were going in the wrong direction. And the whole time Zoro's running with her, I didn't even consider the fact that they're going in the wrong direction. I didn't even consider that. And that's, again, that's that classic Eiichiro Oda humor, man. Like, I love that. And I love how Nami's just like, Zoro, you big idiot, the other way, go the other way. And I like how Sanji's just like, who gave you permission? Who gave you permission to run with Tashigi? How dare you? It's just like Sanji is such a fascinating character, man. Sanji is so fascinating because it's just like, this dude has no loyalty when it comes to women. Like, one moment he'll be like, Nami, baby, I love you, baby, I love you, Nami. And the next minute it's like, Nico Robin, come here, you big, beautiful whatever. And then if he saw Bo Hancock, he would just have like nosebleeds for days. And then he gets to Fishman Island, and this dude is just losing so much blood he needs a transfusion. Like, it's just like, this is what I'm talking about, man. Like, Sanji is a man whore. I love it. Like, the perverted characters are the ones I love the most. But it's just like, Zoro could be carrying any attractive woman, and Sanji would say, I got dibs. I feel sorry for whatever woman decides to settle down with Sanji, because it's just like, you can't ever compete with that. Like, you can't ever compete with it, because it's always going to be a woman who is younger than you and more attractive than you. And Sanji don't strike me the type of dude like a lot of men, or a lot of women hope a lot of men would be, where, as like you get older and you grow together, the guy only has eyes for you. Newsflash, you guys look around just like we do. Women look just like we do. It's just human nature. But, the big thing is you can't act on your impulses. Like, Sanji, this dude's going to be like me, man. Like, I see a beautiful woman, like, I grin. I can't help it. I'm smooth enough I can play it off, though. We'll be at dinner or something, and like the waitress would be cute, and I might mess around and flirt with her, and I'm like, man, look, baby, you gotta understand, right? I'm just making her feel good because I'm taking you out to dinner. Like, I'm taking you out. She knows she can't keep up with you. She gotta work this job, and she don't look too happy, and I'm just helping her pass the time. But you gotta understand, like, I only got eyes for you. I ain't gonna say I only got eyes for you. I'm being silly right now, but I mean, I'll find a way to flip that shit. So I said to say, man, like, Sanji, oh man, I feel sorry for whoever gets with Sanji, man, because you're in for a world of heartbreak, man. Sanji's like me in the sense that, like, I can't keep a car more than 3 years. Like, after 3 years, like, I'm looking to upgrade. Like, I just got a fetish for cars, man. Like, if I had $1 million, I would blow it all on cars. That's not the smartest thing you do, but I mean, I know what my vices are, because there's always gonna be a car that's faster than the one I got, that makes more horsepower than the one I got, that has more torque than the one that I got. So I like that Sanji is unapologetic when it comes to, you know, his loyalties when it comes to women, man. So the other thing about this chapter that was kind of interesting was the fact that you had the moment where Chopper, you just see it where Chopper is so caring and compassionate for Mocha, who essentially is his test subject, but he's trying to cure her, right? But on the flip side of that, you got Caesar, and he's flat out telling his men, hey, you know, you guys are just test subjects, you're guinea pigs. I can get more of you guys. Just do what I say, damn it. I pay you for your bodies. I don't pay you to use your brain. Like, that is some savage stuff. That is savage. I just love I love how Chopper and these recent arcs where, like, when you have Thriller Bark, where you see Chopper and the dude on Thriller Bark, I forgot his name, but the doctor there, just the contrast where one is very caring and the other one doesn't really care what he's doing to people. And same thing here with Caesar Clown. Like, Chopper wants to reverse the damage done. Caesar Clown, if he had his way, everyone would be little test tube babies. Like, this, this was a very, very good chapter. So I want to close off here by asking you guys, what was your favorite part of this chapter? But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching all the way until the end of the video. Have an incredible day, guys.